Now we got to build on it. You want to be the kind of team that controls your own destiny. Okay, that's our next step. All right, love you guys. Bring it in.
And man, from that start in the bubble, 51-21 last season, second best record in the NBA behind Devin Booker and company. Of course, Valley Oop that got it done. The Western Conference champion Suns behind the DeAndre Ayton dunk made their way into the NBA Finals, where it appeared for a while in this series that they were the stronger team, but the Bucks turned it around 1-6, and the Bucks became the NBA champions. The Suns are picking in this spot, but here's the proposed trade that will become official. Suns are going to get Landry Shamet. Now, you think about the Suns turnaround. I know that the pick is going to go on to the Nets, but the Suns in the 5 years prior to their appearance in the NBA Finals had a winning percentage of about 30%. That turnaround from that low winning percentage to the final is the best in NBA history. It is also the best in the history of Major League Baseball, the NFL, and all major sports, the National Hockey League as well. Came just that close to winning a championship. Their pick for Brooklyn is in.
With the 29th pick in the 2021 NBA Draft, the Phoenix Suns select Day'Ron Sharpe from the University of North Carolina.
Take a bow, Mr. Perkins.
We watched in the finals, right? They lacked depth at the center position. Once Cyrus went out, DeAndre Ayton was the only big that they had. Look, this is one of the most physical guys in the draft. Great passer, great hands, soft hands, great footwork, by the way. He lost 25 pounds. He's only going to continue to get better, especially under Coach Monty Williams.
He is the fourth Montverde kid to get picked here tonight. Not a high school, prep school, elite team though. Cade Cunningham was first. Moses Moody was also picked. Scotty Barnes went fourth overall, and now Day'Ron Sharpe, the penultimate pick of this first round. The best offensive rebounder in the country, and well schooled by North Carolina assistant Hubert Davis, now head coach at North Carolina. There is Scotty Barnes out of Florida State. He was picked. Golden State had a couple of picks in the first round. They took Moses Moody. They took Jonathan Kuminga. And Montverde Academy, that's who they have picked, including Day'Ron Sharpe. Going 29th overall. Got a Suns logo there, but he will play his game, barring another move here in Barclays Center.
I mean, Reese, the coach of that team couldn't get a job in the NBA after coaching.
Kevin Boyle.
Yeah,
Shout out to Kevin Boyle.
Yeah.
Did a great job with those guys. I like Sharpe.
Had Ben Simmons as well.
True. D'Angelo Russell.
All those guys grew up next to each other.
Yeah, R.J. Barrett.
Are you against that? Or you're just like to point it out?
It's just like when you say high school. High school is when guys grew up together and they're in the same neighborhood and all that stuff. That's guys on the same high school team. It makes it sound like they all grew up in the same area. And boy, this place produces a lot of great players. They come from all over. It's a terrific place, and they do a great job. But it's more of a prep school basketball team than your local high school.
At this level, the elite players, whether going to the G League or going to college basketball, a very large percentage of them wind up playing at that level rather than playing in their local high schools these days.
Yeah, and there's a lot of talent all over this country.
Makes it different hot spots, doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes it easy to scout. You go to a couple tournaments. I was just at Peach Jam, saw a lot of the top AAU guys, and that's where I was able to see, Day'Ron Sharpe and Scotty Barnes and all those guys. And we had Day'Ron as a lottery pick before the year, so I think that is a great value pick by Brooklyn.
So Utah is now on the clock. Final pick of the first round. Is there anyone sitting out there, or any of you guys, that you're surprised that they haven't gone up to this point, and perhaps would be a good selection for Utah?
Jared Butler would be one from Baylor, and who knows, there may be some sort of medical issue. I don't know exactly what it is. The other would be Sharif Cooper of Auburn, the just spectacular point guard that averaged 8 assists and 20 points per game in his time under Bruce Pearl. I'd say those two would be top on my list.
We've got a great setup here on our stage now, the Barclays Center. In the past, I haven't been able to look over off camera and see Woj. Now I can. And Woj just looked over at me, being the great teammate that he is, and said, trade. What do you got, Woj?
Yeah, Utah has traded the 30th pick
to the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies will be picking here at number 30. And listen, for Utah, as they head into free agency now, Mike Conley is one of the real priorities for them to re-sign him. You're going to see a point guard roulette all through the league in free agency. A lot of big names out in free agency, a lot of teams with needs at point guard. But Mike Conley and Chris Paul in Phoenix both share the same agent, Steve Human, at CAA. And these are two players who I think could go out into the marketplace and perhaps even get bigger deals than they can get where they are. But I think that both Chris Paul and Mike Conley, they're really looking to try to find ways to stay where they are, continue with both Phoenix and Utah. But I think both Conley and Paul really are going to dictate how this free agency period works out at that point guard position.
A lot of them coveted and on the move. See, there it is. That's how I can look over sometimes and which can get my attention so that we don't send somebody a place that they're not really going to wind up. So we think of everything.
Smart.
Around here. Okay.
Vision. You've got elite vision.
That's right. Finally tuned over the years. Sometimes my years working with you, I do this.
Look me off. He's looking me off.
With the 30th pick in the 2021 NBA Draft, the Utah Jazz select Santi Aldama from Las Palmas, Spain, and Loyola University, Maryland. And that concludes the first round of the NBA Draft. Thank you again to the fans here at the Barclays Center. Thank you. The next round will be conducted by Deputy Commissioner and Brooklyn native Mark Tatum. Stay tuned. Every pick matters. Congratulations again to all the draftees, and good night, everyone.
Santi Aldama, this was a surprise, and he had a little bit of a mysterious pre-draft process, maybe a shutdown here, but he's got a lot of game. Okay, averaged 21 points, 10 rebounds, not the highest level of competition, but incredibly skilled. 6'11", can shoot it over either shoulder, can step out and stretch it to three. Remember Alexei Pokusevsky in last year's draft? He was kind of the surprise guy by the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's Santi Aldama this year. He's a very intriguing long-term prospect. Interested to see if he's going to be a draft and stash or not. Played college basketball, but Spanish roots.
Okay, fourth player taken from Loyola. So the first round is now over. A lightning round coming. Only 2 minutes between picks. And a lot of talent still out there. Some really dynamic guards with Cooper, Butler, McBride, and Dosunmu. Isaiah Livers, a versatile wing from Michigan. Also had a tremendous season. Where will they go? The second round, the NBA Draft, commences when you come back.